my life, it's just a flow. It goes with the flow. Nothing planned. It was horrible this time. I mean, now my thinking about the life became more, more light. The whole slab, okay, went. I mean, just in front of it, just 10 step of us, the whole complete slab. Okay, it just went like this, like a landslide.
So why do you climb mountains?
I
Okay.
finished my graduation in 2010. Okay,
Ha.
so after the 2 years, I'm nothing,
Okay.
I have that vacuum, what to do, kind of somehow managing funds, I mean, it was though my motivation was down, so it was very strong in my mind. Okay, someday, somehow someday, I have to manage to climb Everest. Feeling like I'm a stupid,
Okay. So
what
how
then? No knowledge, nothing.
you were in a rescue, you helped that guy, your team helped that guy, and then something happened with you also. So I would like to know what went down on Annapurna 2022 season.
The only mistake was happened is in the storm we missed the route. But for Kanchenjunga, at one point we feel that this is a summit. After that, we'll see a other mountain. Okay, that's Kanchenjunga. The jacket is 30,000. Indian market, they have to sell it for 55,000.
This is an open warning. Hello and namaste to everybody. I hope you guys are doing well. So, in this episode of On the Mic with Parth, we have with us a very dear friend of mine, a very special guest, Bharat Thammineni. He is a mountaineer from India who summited 5 8,000 meter mountains: Mount Everest, Mount Lhotse, Mount Kanchenjunga, Mount Manaslu, and Mount Annapurna. I met him after his Annapurna climb in Nepal last year, and we went for a nice party. And I got to know him, and he's a very interesting human being. And you know what I like about him is he's a very calm, composed person who does not like to speak much about himself. But such people are the people whose internal journey is something which is worth bringing out to people. So I thought, okay, let's invite him for this podcast. And the conversation we had was one of the best conversations on this podcast so far. And apart from the 5 8,000ers, he has climbed 5 out of the 7 summits also, and over 20 Himalayan expeditions as an expedition leader. He is also the founder of a company called Boots and Crampons, which organizes treks and expeditions across India and even outside India. In this podcast, we spoke about a lot of things. I mean, it's a wonderful podcast. Okay, everybody who is into mountaineering, who is starting off, or even who is into mountaineering fully. So here is presenting Bharat to all of you. So, if you're ready, we can start.
Yeah.
So, hello and namaste, Bharat Anna. How are you?
Hello, Parth. Yeah, good.
First of all, a very big thanks to you for giving your time to be here, because I'm
Not a
sure
fine.
a lot of you have a lot of mountaineering experience, and the lessons learned there can be a guiding light to a lot of young people who are watching here. So what's going on in life? Where are you right now?
Right now at home, I just reached just 3 days back. Okay, I've been climbing from last 2 months. Just got a
Mhm.
small break.
Okay, where were you for the last 2 months?
Uh, December end, January. So I was climbing in Argentina.
Aconcagua.
Yeah, Concagua.
How was it this time?
Yeah, this time, yeah, weather was problem with Addis is it's unpredictable. Okay, this time again we have see, for example, last time when we went, even though weather is not good, we stayed there because last time we got the visa for 90 days. Because this time they changed the rules. They are giving the visa based on the itinerary. Yeah, don't know why
Okay.
Argentina is behaving like that these days.
Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing every country is getting very strict with
Yeah,
visas for some
correct,
reason.
correct, correct. So we
And
have it's a hurry expedition. Yeah, we made it somehow. Yeah.
okay, very nice. And then after that,
After Argentina, yeah, straight to Ladakh, because I invited all the people who are climbing 8,000 meters. So,
Mhm.
chalo, just join. We'll go and have a winter expedition. So, we just made it to winter expedition, yeah, for
Very
UT Kangri.
nice. UT Kangri, and you sent me a video of the weather, which was very bad, and you told me there was a avalanche below the summit. What happened?
So, actually, every time, my life, it's just a flow. It goes with the flow. nothing planned, so every expedition, whenever we see these kind of things, life becomes more easy. We don't,
Hmm.
we just think it very light. This time the same happened. It was horrible this time. I mean, now my thinking of, thinking about the life became more, more light. Okay. So I'll tell you, this is our third expedition to UT Kangri. First two times we failed. Yeah, winter expeditions, avalanches
Yeah,
continuously
yeah.
and all. This time what happened? Weather was perfect. Okay. I mean, on the summit day, I'm telling. I mean, till before summit day and after summit day, weather was horrible. I've shared the video, right? So on the summit day, it was perfect. Perfect means it's like a summer expedition. So after 4 hours of climb, we reached the crampon point. So we were we were at the crampon point. We were discussing like how to do the summit videos and all. Okay. So generally, and you've been observing, right? Whenever we go to the summit, we do push-ups. Okay. So this time we were. I mean, last two times we were failed. Okay. This time, we are confident. It's clear. Cloud. Everything is clear. Okay. Just more 3 hours to the summit. So we were preparing our cameras, we had to do this, that way, that, and when we are still discussing all those things, we were just 40 minutes, we climbed when we are climbing just 40 minutes to the summit. It's not avalanche. It's the whole slab. Okay, went. I mean, just in front of it, just 10 step of us, the whole complete slab. Okay, it just went like this, like a landslide. Okay, first time because I've been in avalanche before and all. I've seen avalanche nearby and all, but this is completely different. And see your ground is going like this. Okay, and it's a fall of around 450 meters fall. That too on the rock.
Ooh,
Like that will,
ooh.
if it has happened, that will be like horrible thing. Okay, no chance of life, nothing. The 70% of the slab went. The remaining 30% which is left, team is on that slab. It's
What
just
a
a miss. It's luck pure. I mean, I don't know what to say. Like it's luck or even luck. It's a small word. What I'm thinking after seeing that.
yeah, it was what I
Yeah.
would say, it was just not your time
Yeah.
for the exit.
Correct.
I've like on Annapurna, I have
Hmm.
seen six avalanches very, very closely in 2021.
Right.
And after that, you just simply realize that, no matter how much you prepare, no matter what God you believe in, no
Correct.
matter what the hell you do, it is not in your hand. If it is your time, it is your time. If it's not your time, even if you get
Correct.
caught in the avalanche, you'll be the, survival story of the century if it's not your time.
Correct.
Every mountaineer who I invite, I ask them this question because of the fact the more mountains we climb, the more we realize how risky it is, how crazy it is. In like if somebody who does not climb mountains asks me why I climb mountains, there is just no way we can logically make them accept and understand. So why do you climb mountains?
Why do I climb mountains? So to get, to have some answer for this. So I have to tell, it started from very young age.
Yeah,
Okay,
please tell
when
me.
I don't know what mountains are, it just started, okay, because I'm from a Sonic school background. Okay, so we used to have, and then from class 6 we used to go for trekking and all these things, surrounded by a school and all these things. Okay, we used to have the trail runs on the mountains and all. Okay, that's how it connected. Okay, I mean this at least at that age. So after that, I did my graduation from from a hill station.
Oh, where?
Okay, in Uti. It's a place in
Okay,
Tamil Nadu.
yes, beautiful place.
Yeah, beautiful place. So even my college, even if you want to go to, from the college to the college entrance gate, we have to climb a mountain. So it started, at least that seats, it started that way. Okay.
Hmm.
I mean, even after graduation, I didn't come directly to the mountains. Like, no, I used to travel, in Northeast India, North India, just as the
Mm-hmm.
main thing is I don't want to work anyway. I mean, it's just I mean, my mentality is arey, one life, why to work? That kind of it. One day we have to end it. Okay, just want I don't want to that kind of life.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how it started. Okay, so obviously okay, that's how it started climbing and all. Okay, when my climbing journey started, at one point of time, you realize, are we need money also. Okay, that's how Boots and Grab was I started my
Yes,
company.
yes,
So it's simple,
yes.
Nothing planned. Okay, I have to do this, I have to do that. No, it's just going with the flow. That's it.
When people ask us this question, why do you climb mountains? They expect a very philosophical answer. And it's not, it's really not. It's just beautiful and we like it. That's all.
That's it. That's it. That's nothing else.
I always say that I climb mountains because I love climbing mountains. There is no God I'm searching for. There is no pot of gold up there. I like climbing
Right.
mountains. And
Right.
then, as you said, that, oh, we need money. So, whatever we did was to build work around climbing mountains so that we can climb mountains after all.
The reason, why I chose this, from passion, it becomes as a profession because I know only that, nothing, and I can't
Yes.
go and do some other job, some other work. I don't know.
Absolutely. Same here, man. Like, I have completed my engineering, but I was such a bad engineer that if you give me a screwdriver in front of a screw, I will think, what side should I turn it? The screwdriver. Such a bad engineer. If I
Yeah,
go
all the
into the
engineers are
field,
the same.
it's a surprise how the world is working, because everything is engineering. With
Yeah.
engineers like us, how is it working? No, but I want to understand a little bit more in depth. You did engineering, as you said. Which engineering did you do?
I was into genetic engineering.
Okay,
It's a
interesting.
science background.
Yeah. I did aircraft maintenance engineering. After completing engineering, there is the whole pressure of the world, including family, friends, socially. That, okay,
Yeah.
after engineering, the logical thing to do is to get a placement in one of the good companies.
Correct.
And I'm sure in your life also, as mine, as all the other engineers or all other professions, you have to, get into a job. So, did you ever do a job?
Yeah. When this topic comes, I'm lucky. Okay. So my family, and then I got two sisters. Okay, and my family. I mean, I never had a pressure. Okay.
Okay, okay,
Nothing. They were like, okay, chillo, whatever you want. Like, I have that kind of freedom. Like,
okay.
never did any job. Like, not even a single day to any job. Nothing.
Awesome, awesome. Just like me. I, in fact, sat for placement interviews just
Okay.
for the experience. And to my surprise, I got job offer. I'm like, no, I don't want it.
Right.
He was like, why the hell did you come here? I'm like, just for experience. So was it after your college that you decided that you want to climb mountains as a profession?
Not immediately after college. I
Okay.
finished my graduation in 2010. Okay.
Ha.
So after the 2 years, I
Okay.
have that vacuum, what to do, kind of. Okay, man,
Mm.
though I was traveling and all, but there is no proper system, so I have to do this, I have to do that, nothing,
Okay.
even not into mountains. Okay, I was traveling in mountains by road, not climbing and all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but never thought that way. So, you generally Indian mentalities, that too, so at least if you take north, there are mountaineers, whom you can speak, whom you can, with whom you can have some talk, some guidance and all, when you come to south at that time, at that point of time, nothing, no one, even internet is not like, I mean, if you take 10 years back, it's like, normal. We are using like normal mobiles, not kind, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
nothing like this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2012, I just got this thought, like any other in India, I also got this thought of climbing Everest. Okay, that's how, I just got the thought of 2012. So in 2012 I got this thought. In 2013 I came to know that it costs like 20 plus lakh. I mean that time it's 20 lakh
Mm-hmm.
something. Now it
Mm-hmm.
increased and all. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So see, it took 1 year for me, at least to, I mean, understand, no, so this is a costly affair. So 2013, I mean, after listening the cost, I mean, my motivation got down. Okay. Somehow, but the idea was still, I mean, in my mind. So 14, somehow I cleared the course. I went for basic, this kind of, I mean, basic course and all. After
Okay.
that,
Where did you do your
some,
basic course?
from HMI, Himalayan Mountaineering Institute.
Okay. Okay. Which year was this?
2014.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then?
So yeah, 2014 I did. I know before doing this course and all, I was yeah, somehow managing funds. I mean, it was though my motivation was down, so it was very strong in my mind. Okay, someday somehow someday I have to manage to climb Everest. Basically, I'll tell you, no one believes me.
Mm-hmm.
2015 when I went to Everest, that was my first peak.
Oh, oh, okay. Was
See,
that
I mean, it's
first
I'm
peak
not
ever?
first pick ever. I'm telling you, I'm not telling is and I'm great. I'm telling I'm a stupid. I even don't know
Mm.
how the company took me in their team and all
Yeah. And I think,
So,
for some reason, I mean, see, a lot of young people are watching. I would not recommend to, do what I'm going to say. But sometimes ignorance is bliss. If you don't know anything, you don't know
anything.
what to expect. Whatever comes, you are okay. But that is not the way you
Yeah,
have
that is
to.
not the way. I mean,
You have
you can tell me, like, you can have a straight example. Don't be like this guy. Simple.
No, no, I mean, yeah, I mean, see, it worked out well for you. Nothing wrong happened on Everest. But
Yeah, I
if,
mean, but this, like, 2015, we have an
yeah.
earthquake. Okay.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah, I
right,
was
right,
in
right,
that.
right, 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 right. So you didn't get a chance to attempt.
No, 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 no. Actually, what happened? 2015, I was climbing because, like, I heard that, like, people who are climbing from Nepal, they have, like, for the next year, they got like permit, like, with that permit, they have to, I mean, they can climb. But
Extended.
we are extended. But China, that's not the case.
The permit was not extended?
Not extend. They said they extend and all something, like, even though, like, I can't say it's 100%. I heard that, like, it was not, because in my team and all, like, everyone had the same issue. Okay. And even though I'm in the next immediately in the next year, even to arrange that half funds, I'm not ready. So it ended, like, when we reached camp 2. Yeah, this was happened, earthquake. Okay. So it's April 25th. Okay. So, at that point of time, like, what, how my mind was like, I was thinking, like, I know how I raised from the last 2 years, how I raised that funds and all, like,
Hmm.
everyone was in fear, like, something was happening, mountain is shaking, like, some rock fall and all things are happening, like, nothing is in my mind. I was just thinking of, like, Arey, how can I mean, I come and climb next time, like, because I know, like, I took 2 years, like, I got I mean, very little minute sponsorships, like, it's a big
Hmm.
expedition.
Hmm.
Somehow I arranged here and there with friends and all, like,
So you said you were at Camp 2 when the earthquake struck?
yes, yes,
Oh my God. So
2001.
for people who don't know, this 2015 earthquake of Nepal was one of the worst earthquakes the world has ever seen. I think around 10, 11,000 people in whole of Nepal died. That's a lot of people. On Everest, there was this massive avalanche on the base camp. The video went viral. One of our friends, Kuntal, was at the base camp who shot that video, I think. No, I think it was Yosh Kobush who shot that video. You were at camp too. And by the way, around 15, 16 people died at base camp, correct?
Yeah, that's what. Like, that is from Nepal. So we were climbing from, the other side,
Oh, yes, yes, you were on the Tibet side.
Tibet side.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay, okay. Yes, you climbed from Tibet. Right, right, right. So how was the experience of the Nepal earthquake on Tibet side?
No, Tibet. It's not. No, the main advantage of Tibet is, like, during those days, like, even the crowd was nothing. Okay, it's very less crowded. Okay, that is one thing, and it's not like, and no, because, like, whenever you say, like, Tibet, when this Tibet route, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
it's not like avalanche prone, something like
No,
that. Okay,
no.
so everyone are safe, nothing, like, but we observed that, like, something was, huge happening, that we observed, but not like, avalanche and all, nothing like,
So,
Nepal.
so, so why did you turn back then?
Yeah, it was actually, like, again after this, there was, like, there is a discussion happened for the next 2 days. Okay, actually north is safe. I mean, people have a discussion, Sherpa team and all the leaders, they got the discussion, at one point of time they said, like, okay, it was fine, people can climb, but at some point of time, there is one correct point happened, like, not see Sherpas who are climbing, their families are suffering, in
Hmm.
Nepal. So,
Hmm.
even our team,
Yeah.
like, everyone collectively taken
Yes.
this decision to abandon the expedition. It's not good. Like, someone is suffering and you are,
No,
climbing.
no.
No, that's not good.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
I thought. Amazing, amazing. Yeah. I mean, from China, also from Tibet, also the Sherpas who come are all from Nepal.
correct.
So it's
Nepal, yeah.
their brothers and uncles and fathers
Their
and
home,
yeah, their
everything.
home is in distress. Absolutely. You can't climb with this mindset. 100%, 100%. You mentioned about the funding part, and I think I'm sure after you climb so many peaks, you must get this question every time, everywhere you go to speak, everywhere on social media. How to raise the money to climb these mountains? So, two questions here. How did you raise the money? Second, if somebody is raising the funds here, what would you say to them? What is the right way to go about it?
First, I'll tell about myself, like, how
Yeah,
I managed.
yeah,
Okay, then I'll come to, like, how to
yes.
raise. Okay. Coming to my point, like, I didn't raise. So I'm a big failure in that, like, So for the first time, 2015 expedition, It was like, slight amount of like, I could raise 40%, like, when again, it was a failure. Okay.
How did you
So
raise the
again,
40%?
yeah, 40% I raised.
How did you?
Uh, okay, okay. Through, I mean, known contacts only. Nothing like, I never
Mhm.
went to any new company and gave my presentation. Nothing. It's all like, from known, like, they know Bharat. Okay, chalo, this guy is doing something. Okay, we have to support that kind of from friends, like, I mean, from some organizations, like, all these kind of things. Nothing from, outside. Okay. So after that, it got failed. After that, so obviously, like, people who sponsors, like, they don't, I mean, they don't know the situation and all, like. So again, in 2016, I tried, but it was not happened. Okay. So 17, yeah, 17, I was, in one, for Everest mainly, I was in one government project. Okay, somehow, like, I managed, to climb Everest in 17.
It was a government expedition, you mean?
Yeah, it's a government expedition.
By
Okay, our state,
IMF? IMF?
no, not IMF, from the state government.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
from Andhra state government. Okay, government took initiative. Okay, so that's how, like, I managed to climb Everest in 2017. Okay. So then I decided, like, after climbing Everest, like, I mean, obviously, like, we don't stop, like, we'll be keep on climbing. So, like, I mean, I just kept two plans, like, one is plan A, one is plan B, which is plan A to raise the funds and climb, what all you think other 8,000ers,
Hmm.
whatever the mountains, I mean, in other continents, other countries, like, whatever it is. So for me, like, I'm not, I mean, first of all, at least I'm talking now, like, at those days, like, I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
you can tell, like, it's not introvert. You have to click some other word for that, like,
Yeah.
that kind of person. Like, I can't go and impress I mean, someone, like, I mean, give me funds and all. So what I did is, like, I made a plan B. Plan B is like, by these experience, like, what all I have, what all, it's not about, I mean, because by the time I don't have much experience except Everest. Okay. So I don't say it's an experience. Okay. So what I observed is, no, from 2013, like, and there are people, who comes, like, who spend on, I mean, mountaineering, if they have, like, proper logistics, like, proper food, proper accommodation. Okay. If they trust you, there are people, like, who spend on you. I mean, who spend, on their expeditions. That's how I thought of, like, plan B. Let's start the
Hmm.
company. Okay,
Hmm.
let's, like, earn, and I mean, anyway, like, I'm not going. I mean, I'm unable to raise the money, so, let's go to plan B. Let's earn money and, spend, kind of. Okay, that's how I started, Boots and Crampons.
Hmm.
It's a private limited company in 2017. Okay,
Mhm.
the main concept, how, I mean, at that time, what I observed is, like, in India, again, in the market, there are a lot of companies, like, if you see, like, Delhi, Dehradun, on in Ladakh, like, if you see every state, there are a lot of companies. So what I decided is, like, so people I mean, Indian climbers who wants to climb outside of India, that's a market, like, where there are many very less players, so I can fit in that market. So that's how I started Boots and Crampons, to, to make expeditions outside of India. So that's how it started. We used to do a lot of trips to Kilimanjaro, Elbrus, like, Aconcagua, even in Australia. So Nepal, few, that's how it started.
Okay.
So I was earning at the same time, like, I kept, like, every year I have to climb 8,000. That's how, like, 17 after Everest, 18 I did Manaslu. So
Mm-hmm.
19 I did Lhotse.
Mm-hmm.
So 20, like, it was Kanchenjunga, but again, like, this Corona
COVID.
started. Yeah, COVID started.
Mm-hmm.
So in 2019, when I was climbing Lhotse, so I met Romil. Okay, Lieutenant Colonel Romil. He was leading Indian
Mm-hmm.
Army team. He was the leader of the
Mm-hmm.
Indian Army team.
Mm-hmm.
So we became, good friends. The true, like, a true person comes out, like, we spent good time. Okay, I discussed with him about Boots and Crampons, like, I mean, invited him, like, so in 2020 he joined Boots and Crampons as a partner. So that's how,
Okay.
like, we are expanding, like, we also started expeditions in India. All these
Mm.
things are going on now.
Awesome. So you are able to go on the expeditions that you wish to with your own earnings now?
Yeah, yeah, own earning, everything is on own earning.
Amazing. I mean, as I grow up in age and in experience, I also feel the same that the best way to climb the mountains that you dream of is by your own money. See, I mean, if you are someone like Arjun Vajpayee who has multiple records under his name, I mean, see, his journey is also something which I give an example to everyone, that at the
Yeah,
age of 16, 17, 18, if you are creating world records, what kind of a mindset you must have?
true.
Crazy, unbelievable. And So that is one way, that if you are doing crazy records and you have a very enterprising mind, and you can go out there and speak to people, then sponsorships and everything you can manage, though it is very difficult. But the other way for most people, I always recommend, is to build work in such a way that you are able to earn your own money and you are not answerable to anybody, and you can do things the way you want it. Now my next expedition, wherever I go, it is my goal, like that's the Everest of my life now, that I want to set up systems around me to earn money, through which I am able to climb the mountains that I want. And so far I've climbed all these mountains. People have been following the journey, and I've been constantly active on social media. And it's when you are on an expedition, it's kind of a burden to be answerable to people, to keep updating
Yeah.
people. So my next expedition, I will not tell anybody. I will just go and come. If I succeed, I will post. If I don't succeed, nobody will even know that I'm going on an expedition. That's the
Yeah.
ease with which I want to go. So now you are somebody who has converted his passion into profession. So would you say that converting passion into a profession is the best way to sustain your life, to be happy, to be driven? Or if somebody's profession is helping them with their passion, it cannot be the same. But if in both the scenarios, do you think that passion, if it becomes your profession, that's the better way to go about it? How do you look at this?
Actually, it's the best way. Okay. And at the same time, I have seen people, who, I've seen a lot of people who are not succeeded in this,
Mm-hmm,
there are
mm-hmm,
two things in it. Two ways. And one more thing, even if you're seeing, when we started in 2017, uh, it took us a lot of time, okay, to
mm.
get into this position. People, they won't trust, people won't trust you, in the, you have to show them results. Okay.
Yeah.
That's how it took a lot of time. Okay. So even I'm telling, people I know, many people, I'll be talking, they'll be starting their companies, if even after 1 year, obviously 1 year no one will see the results. Okay. So nowadays, all the people who come, they want, some, immediate results. If, it was not coming, and they're, stepping back. That's how it's happening. Okay. At least I'm telling you, you have to, give people at least a time of, 750 days, 750 to 1,000 days, then the trust comes. You have to be,
Mm.
whatever happens, you have to be in the market.
Mm.
Okay. So if in that case, people have that patience, yeah, this is the best, I'm telling, this field, and nowadays, the next generation, it's a huge market. India, see the population, 1.3 billion population, it's a huge market. Okay. It's just the trust, because, it's not something, it's not like some tour. Okay. Because people comes to you, they have to trust you, there are a lot of safety aspects, and that, if
It's a
something
life and
happens, you have to
death,
be, yeah,
life and
life
death
and death. Yeah.
game.
So that, the trust. Okay. Once that trust builds, this is the best.
100%. Yesterday I went for a trek, and there was this young girl who wants to get, she's I think 20, 21 years of age, and she wants to get professionally into climbing mountains, but she has no idea how to. And I told her, okay, the outdoor industry in Europe or in America or in New Zealand or in Canada, it's very matured. It's very
Yeah.
saturated right now.
Yeah.
People have been doing it professionally, systematically since the last 50, 60 years. But in India, in the last only 1 decade, that the masses have gotten into trekking and even mountaineering. Everybody knows about Everest. Everybody speaks about Everest. Everybody wants to trek. Like, for example, I lead treks in Sahyadris on weekends sometimes. 50 to 60% people are first timers.
Yeah.
And that shows that 50, 60%, every time they want to at least see what trekking or outdoors is all about. And if 50, 60% people want to do this, it's a very big market. It's a booming market. This is the golden age of adventure in India.
Correct. Correct.
It's the golden age, especially if you want to do it professionally. As you said, all you need is commitment. For 2 years, just even if no client is coming, 2 years, you be shamelessly out there, do or die
Yeah.
attitude. If you can do that, that's what I said to her yesterday. For 2 years, forget everything, forget comfort, conveniences, dreams, passion, forget everything. For 2 years, be at it, then it will happen. It will happen, because when you fail, you see why you failed, then you find solutions towards it. So you refine, you refine, you refine, and it bloody happens. I mean, someone like me is doing multiple things and I'm able to sustain my life through climbing mountains. And people like you and me are an example that, okay, you don't have to compromise by doing something else. But then I again also say there are many people in India, I mean, even in your circle, they do something else work wise. They have other businesses, other profession, and they are able to earn money to fund their passion here. And I think that that is also a very good way. Now the problem here happens is when people are completely into some other work and they are not able to bring time for their passion. Now that is something that they have to manage. And people like, for example, Kuntal, who I climbed Everest with, he is earning money from software work and he is managing time also for his expedition. So I think these both ways for these young people who are listening here,
Yeah.
your passion need not be your profession, and
Right.
and your profession need not be your passion also.
Mm.
Profession can earn money for your passion. So keep your mind open, and
Right.
there is no right way. You know, this there's this fake marketing which goes on, and we are to blame for it. That, oh, passion should be your profession. I don't believe that. It, if it happens, well and good. But if it doesn't happen, that's not the end of your life. That
Mm.
doesn't mean your life is miserable and wasted. No,
Right.
a lot of people think that. So that's why I just wanted to clarify this and bring it out to people that
Yeah.
both ways are okay as long as you are
Right.
able
Right.
to manage time.
Yeah. I just want to add one more
Please.
point into this. See, even like, we were telling like, we were guiding our youngsters, I mean, younger generation who is coming up, taking up this, I mean, we were telling them like, you have to stand for 2 years, like, even I'll tell you, like, even those 2 years, I was there for, very huge expedition, taking just a single client. Okay. Never stopped it. Like, even taking a single client. I'll tell you one example. After I think in my second year, I was on an expedition, a good expedition in India. There were 38 people. Okay, I was like, it's a utter flop expedition. 38 people, I was in the center. 38 people are shouting on me. See, like,
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
that's how, I mean, people generally, what happens, like, if something happens like that, they'll, I mean, step back. Okay, chalo, this is not our thing. Like, they'll go back. I mean, not only that, and I have faced in the first 2 years, people were happy, people were shouting on me. Many things were happening.
Mhm, mhm.
Okay, just hold on, hold on, hold on. Like, hold on for
Yes,
the time. You learn, 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 learn. Every day is a
yes,
learning. Like, learn, learn,
yes.
learn. Yeah.
100%, yeah. And I think even people who are not here into climbing mountains, who is listening to us, no matter what you want to do in your life, you cannot reach at a certain stage by giving up. You have to be shamelessly at it. You have to keep the shame aside, your ego aside, and just
Yeah.
do it for the next 2 years. If you're starting off, be it a business, even be it your education, if you want to, do it well, then just be at it. I mean, come on. And unfortunately, the young, what are they called? Gen Z or something like that. The very big problem that I see in them is they don't have any patience. Zero patience. They are real, generation. 15-second reel is also a long form content for them nowadays. For such generation whose attention span is so less, whatever work they do, they suddenly, if something bad happens, they move on to the next thing, then the next thing. They see, if something bad happens, they say, no, this profession is bad, this line of work is bad. They don't understand that nothing in this world can happen to you if you keep shifting, 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 shifting.
Correct.
Now, that commitment is really missing. Like, even people who want to climb Everest, they ask me, I tell them, okay, do the courses, do a few expeditions at least to gain some experience, and then do it. And then they say, oh, we don't have the time, we don't, so long, we want to do it right now. अरे पागल हो गया है क्या? ऐसे नहीं होता. So this is the problem, 99% people, when they get to know what is the path to Everest, including the money, they just give up. And yeah, I mean, I don't know what's the solution behind this, but करने वाले कर जाते हैं, नहीं करने वाले बहाने दे देते हैं anyways. So no, a lot of people who are listening to us are into climbing mountains, and I want to ask you, what do you do for training? How does your training preparation for climbing these big mountains look like? Because people will listen to you carefully because you have climbed five 8,000-meter mountains,
Yeah.
and five out of the seven summits also, and over 15, 20 different mountains in the Indian Himalayas. So you have a lot of successful experience. That means whatever you are doing for preparation, it works. So what do you do for preparing physically?
I sleep a lot.
Cut. This will be cut. No, no, no. No, no.
Yeah. So see, I'll tell you, coming to my part, no, seriously, I sleep a lot. Okay.
Okay.
So that is one thing. Okay. So I still feel I'm more active because I sleep a lot. No, seriously, I'm telling you, I sleep
Hmm.
almost like 10 to 12 hours a day. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. So okay, fine. That's how, I love sleeping. Okay. Yeah,
Hmm.
obviously people love reading books, watching TV,
Hmm.
watching this and all, I have those hobbies, but I love sleeping. Okay, that's one.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's
Hmm.
no. Yeah. Apart from that, most of the time, see, if you say 365 days a year, I'll be climbing 220 days a year. Okay, so now you understand why I sleep a lot.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes, yes,
So I'll get time at home,
yes.
when I reach home, even after this Ladakh expedition, I was telling to, my partner, Romel, sir, I'm feeling homesick. I just want to go home. So that's how, training part. Okay, whenever I'm in high, see, whenever I say homesick, it's not it's not my home, my mother, my sister. It's a lot of things, it's also includes the way every weekend, we play football, my friends here, the food, this air, this not a regular gym kind of thing. The main advantage with me is more than a training kind of always I'm on mountains somewhere or the other. I'll be climbing. Now I got how many days, 20th today, more 10 days, again March, I'm living, so keeps on climbing. So all the way body, it's on the mountains. So training
Hmm.
part, even after coming home, I don't want to be busy with again training all this time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think when you are home, the idea for you is to just recover and rest,
Yes.
to get ready for the next
Next.
mountain trip. And this is something I've seen common in a lot of people who climb mountains back to back, that even if they don't train, you know, they are still fit because
Yeah.
you get good with at what you do. For example, if you want to be a swimmer, the more you swim, the better you'll get at swimming. If you want to be a hockey player, you play hockey, you'll get better at it. And I think even in your case like this, if you want to climb mountains, you keep climbing mountains. And I think that is the best kind of training possible. Yes, when you come home, it's home, food, sleep, everything is there. But when you are climbing mountains back to back, like in this spring, you climbed Annapurna, and then I think Kanchenjunga also after that.
Consider. Yeah.
So when you're climbing mountains like these back to back, on the go, how do you recover? What is the mindset like? What is the approach like towards recovery, or you don't think about it?
Yeah, it's not, even though we don't think, our mind,
Yeah.
sometimes, back to back expeditions, one thought we feel "Arre, we have to go home," kind of. No, it's done. It's more even though physically you're fit, mentally, you won't be that kind of. See,
Hmm.
what we do is, me or my partner. So how we shared the expeditions, Annapurna, after that came to Kanchenjunga. After that, I went to Elbrus. Okay, we have two batches. I went to Elbrus. Next my partner will take. So what we do is I
Ah.
mean, immediately we don't climb the same mountain. Okay,
Hmm.
for example, Kangyasel, this year we did many batches. So I did one batch and I went back for other expedition. So that's how we change our mind. Okay,
Yeah.
somehow we change the state, we change the country, so that to be fresh. Okay, with the new teams. Even though, for example, if you're working in the Ladakh, the ground team will be same.
Yeah.
Okay, we should
Yeah.
not feel that the same mountain. I don't know, a number of
Repetitive.
times repetitive. So we just shifting here and there, here and
Hmm.
there. That's
Hmm.
how mentally will be stronger.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah.
Hmm.
But even though for that there is a limit.
Yes, that
Okay, we can't be
absolutely.
climbing back to back, back to back. Whenever we feel we'll share. Okay, that's up. I'm done. Okay, I just need some recovery. So recovery though, we have to come. Personally, I have to come home for the recovery.
Yes, 100%. No matter how much you rest in a hotel room,
Yeah.
you can't really recover,
Correct.
Absolutely. We met, I think the first time we met after your Annapurna expedition
Yes.
in Nepal,
In Nepal.
we went for a nice party.
Yeah.
So, so I want to ask you about Annapurna.
Hmm.
So Annapurna, as it has the reputation of being the most dangerous mountain out of all the 8,000-meter mountains. Talk us through about your experience on Annapurna, because from what we spoke in that party, I know a lot of things went upside down in terms of you were in a rescue, you helped that guy, your team helped that guy, and then something happened with you also. So I would like to know what went down on Annapurna 2022 season.
Coming to Annapurna, yeah, all the team, what we are like, we were six people on the expedition.
Mhm.
Okay, all like, whenever, generally, whenever I go to any 8,000, I mean, after my Everest, okay, Everest, that one, it's I mean, example for me, like, how not to do I mean, in what way should not do an expedition, like, Everest, that's a, like, big subject for me. Okay. So after that, whatever expedition you take, like, I'm with my, like, known team only. Okay.
Hmm.
No new people. Like, it's a
Yes.
known team. That's how we
Yes.
form the team.
Absolutely.
Even for, Manaslu, we did the same. Manaslu with friends, like, even Lhotse with friends. After that, Kanchenjunga and Annapurna with completely close, dear and close friends. Okay.
Hmm.
That's how Annapurna started. Okay. So Annapurna was a good expedition. Yeah. So on the summit day, I mean, every part was good on Annapurna till the last camp. The summit day, like, we have, I mean, because, like, we are the only team, I guess, like, for example, we are six members. Okay. We have not left any single person. Like, it's not like, one person is going ahead or one person is behind. Okay. It's all six members will go as a group.
Team.
Yeah. Yeah, team. So whatever expedition till now we did, it's it's almost, if for example someone is like very slow, someone has to return back. That's a different case. Okay, but all the teams, like, because all the known people, we have been climbing other mountains. We know each and everyone. That's how Annapurna. Yeah, same. We all, I mean, we are together. Okay, that's how on the day, like, on the day on Annapurna, there was a storm at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We were on the summit. Actually, like, we all together, because, like, everyone want, like, we all want together to be on the summit. Okay, that's how we planned. So we actually, what we thought is, like, on Annapurna. So that was our third attempt on Annapurna that year. Like, before, we twice we tried, but it was not happened because of the snowstorm.
Oh, really? Third
Yeah,
attempt as
because
in the same season or?
in the same season, in the same season.
Ah, okay, okay, okay.
Okay,
Oh,
twice we were ahead, again came back. All these things happened. But on
oh.
the day, what we thought, our team, what we were confident, it was a storm at 2 o'clock. We were confident that storm won't come. Okay, because it was wrong twice before. Because, like, it was a very clear weather. We start for the, like, I mean, we are crossing Camp 2 kind of, and storm was hit. We came back. And actually, that was a pure, I mean, very clear weather. So storm got twice. So what we did, what we thought, a small point, like, okay,
Hmm.
chalo, 2 o'clock. I mean, anyway, it won't come exactly at 2 o'clock, but it might come at 3 o'clock, at 4 o'clock, something. Okay, that's how, like, in our team, like, there are half people who all are climbing without oxygen and half with oxygen. That's how we want to support, like, to be together. So that's how we were, though we are the strongest team that season. So, we were little bit delayed, late. Okay, by the time we reached the top, it was like, you see our photos, like, it was, we took our summit photos in a heavy storm. So now coming down, yeah, our team, like, we supported, like, two people from other, I mean, even our team and our team Sherpas, like, we were with them. Okay, I mean, in the storm, we lost the route. I mean, I don't feel this is, like, something like, it's kind of adventure, like, sometimes, like, we have to accept what's happening on the mountain. Okay, okay, that day, I mean, even everyone was perfect. Like, the only mistake was happened is, like, in the storm, we missed the route. Okay, we completely went, ahead. At one point, after coming down from the summit, coming 200 meters from the summit, we had to take right. In near that right, we took, straight. Okay, that's what we did a mistake. Okay, that's how we completely lost in the route. Like, our oxygen cylinders emptied. Okay, like, we were almost at like 7,800, 7,900 meters. So storm was heavy. It was like, for 50, there for 50, 55 minutes. We were just sitting
Ooh.
all together. We were all sitting together at one place. And we were confident because storm was very strong. The winds are very strong. We have that confidence, like, and it has to end. When winds are very heavy, like, at one point it will stop. Okay, it took almost 50, 55 minutes. Okay, we were frozen. Everyone, like, everyone are frozen are sitting together. Okay, and we were at the same time, all the team, we were helping other two people. Okay, so that's how we were delayed, and all, like, even coming down, you know, From Camp 4 and reaching till Camp 4, we were 28 hours above Camp 4. Okay, that's how, like, even my lungs, like, oxygen got, like, finished, like, I mean, we are breathing normal, cold air. Lungs got filled
Hmm.
up with, lot of, water and all. So that's how, like, even I took a rescue, like, from Camp 4.
Yeah, so what was that situation like when you encountered that guy who needed the rescue? What was going through your mind looking at that person, and what was that whole situation like?
No, no, never want to discuss this kind of things. But I mean, yeah, the person, like, when he was on the top, I mean, generally he collapsed on the top, on the summit.
On the
Okay,
summit.
yeah, on the summit. Yeah, yeah. So that's how, like, we tied. I mean, all the team decided, like, to bring him back. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
tying up the rope.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what happened. Nothing much, like, and not only that, like, mm, generally we feel like, we are, when we are many people and our team is strong, so at least one person or two persons are, like, having problem, like, that won't be a problem getting them down.
No, amazing,
Okay, that's
man.
how we,
Hats off. You.
we did. No, it's not only personally me, like, it's all the team.
Of course, of course, of course.
Yes.
Hats off to the entire team, and especially when there's storm and when oxygen is running out, it's a difficult thing to carry somebody who is not able to walk properly. You have to take care of them, you have to take care of your team, you have to take care of yourself. And I can only imagine what kind of a struggle and mindset of not leaving somebody behind it takes. And I think that this is the spirit of real mountaineering, that you don't leave not just your people, you don't leave any people behind because it's just human being, so yeah, I understand, and that's hats off to what happened up there and how you managed that. What was the most difficult mountain for you so far in 8,000ers?
Kanchenjunga.
Kanchenjunga. Okay, what
Yeah.
happened there? Why?
Yeah. See, Kanchenjunga, it was a very short trip. Like, after Annapurna, we came down, stayed for 3 nights. 3 nights, partying. Like, actually, we came down to have rest, but it was not happened that way.
The Kathmandu rest.
Kathmandu. We were rolling on Kathmandu streets. Okay. So 3 nights, like, in the fourth day, we moved to Kanchenjunga. Okay. Fourth night, our team, we slept at Kanchenjunga base camp. So fifth day we started for the summit. So that was good. It's a short trip, but it's not about, like, short trip or whatever it is. But Kanchenjunga, like, I mean, all the expeditions till the camp for, like, I mean, I observed, like, all are, like, almost like same. So on the summit day, like, I felt Kanchenjunga, like, whenever we think, like, this is a summit, it's obviously on every mountain it was there. It won't be the summit, like, it will be, we will be thinking three, four times, okay, this is a summit. Now it's a summit. Now after going there, like, we see one more step ahead.
Yeah.
So for Kanchenjunga, after each step, okay, I mean, we feel like this is a summit, and obviously, like other mountains, it won't be. But for Kanchenjunga, at one point, we feel that this is a summit. After that, we'll see a other mountain. Okay, that's Kanchenjunga. So
Ah.
that is the difference. And again, like, obviously, Kanchenjunga, like, most of the part it's rocky,
Yes.
not like other mountains. Okay. Okay. Lhotse, we see little part rocky on the last two, I mean, 180, 200 meters. But Kanchenjunga, it's not like that. I mean, all the summit point, like, it will be in the rock, on the rocks. Okay. So again, cramp on rock, it's an odd combination.
Oh,
Yeah.
nobody likes it.
So that's it.
Even
Like,
even on Everest, North Face, so much rocks, man, so much rocks.
yes,
Camp
yes,
2
yes, yes.
onwards, just rocks till the summit.
Correct.
Few
Correct.
patches of snow comes and
Right.
you're climbing the first step, second step, third step, a full rock jumaring. So
Correct.
you saw how many hours it took you for the summit push on Kanchenjunga, because for just for people
No,
who
even,
don't know, just for people who don't know here, out of all the 14 8,000ers, the summit push of Kanchenjunga is the longest summit push, because the Camp 4 is at 7,400, 500, something like that.
yeah,
And this
7,000
and the summit is at 8,586 meters. So that's almost 1,200 meters. That's the longest summit push on any 8,000ers. So how much time it took?
So, and again, even in Kanchenjunga, we are together. Our team is together. We never
Okay,
missed,
okay,
except people
okay,
who went back. Otherwise,
okay.
our team is together. So we started at 7 o'clock in the, I mean, 6:45, I guess. So
That's
six
very,
six
that's
o'clock we
very
thought.
early. That's very early
Yeah,
to start, huh?
yes, yes, yes. 6 o'clock we thought of starting, but somehow it happened 6:45, 7. So morning 8 we submitted.
14 hours one way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
13, 14 hours one way.
13:49.
Was this the time when you were there when was this the year when you lost the Indian guy from West Bengal?
One Indian guy lost because I
Yeah.
saw him on the way. Him, and by the time we reached, he was already lost
Oh
because
my God. Oh my.
yeah, heard that he pushed more. That's
Yeah, and
summit fever.
yeah. I have very strong opinions on this, but I will not go into this because you should not speak about somebody who is not here anymore. But this is what happens when you don't have enough experience, enough, not enough, when your priority is to just summit and not safety. And that is what I've been trying to instill in the young people's mind, that the goal for you to go to the mountains should not be the summit. On the summit, you'll be there bloody for 15-20 minutes maximum. But the whole journey, the everyday lessons, the patience that you learn, the friendships that you make, and the everyday should be your goal. And more than that, coming back safely should be the ultimate summit, for you. For me also, whenever I had to turn around, I was very sad, I was very heartbroken, but there was never a doubt in my mind that I made a mistake by turning around or I should push. No, because I know what happens when you push. You bloody die. You lose your fingers, your toes, you become a liability, a risk on other people who will try to rescue you. I have this quote, in my Annapurna documentary, which I said that summit is not success, safety is success. Summit is just an added bonus. So I think this is something that we need to instill in people's mind, that if turning around moment comes due to weather or due to health or due to somebody else's health, it should not be a problem to turn around. So what do you have to say about this, Bharat?
Yeah, it's true. Like that's what, I've been on many mountains where I turned back because I was simply, see, this time when we were on UT Kangri, this is our failed third expedition. We failed completely.
Yeah, so what exactly?
And many other expeditions we were there.
Yeah.
We had to turn back. Gangotri, we turned back. Lot of there. Nothing to worry. If not this time, the next time.
Yeah, last week I was having a conversation with Sheroz from Pakistan,
Yeah.
very fiery young guy, and he said this one thing, that a brave mountaineer is a dead mountaineer, and I think that says it all. So, I the one thing which I really like about you and Boots and Crampons is that you have started to take one person from the mountain states, on 8,000-meter expeditions, who by himself does not have the money and the means to go on the 8,000-meter expedition. This spring you took Rigzin, who is a very good friend of mine from Ladakh, and I think I just wanted to appreciate that in the spring Everest Base Camp trek, I'm taking two people from India free of cost, sponsoring their flights and everything, because
Nice.
no, because it's first of all, we learn from them so much, and they are the backbones of the expeditions that we do. They are people who genuinely like mountains, they genuinely have love for it. And
Correct.
when we go there, who have climbed Everest and this and that, and then when they ask you questions, and they, like a child, they ask you questions about these mountains, you feel like, you want to do something for them. So that is why. So why did you decide to do that? What was the mindset behind it?
Every time we do some expeditions, when we get a good number of people to the expedition, somehow we'll pick someone. No one knows that, generally, when it's came out, it's a big expedition kind of. Okay, so generally, a person who is coming, except him, no one knows, he's coming, without that's how we do, when a lot of people are coming. So it's nothing let's helping a person, okay, for this expedition. Even we do foreign expeditions, we tell them, if you're not in a position to sponsor heavily, we just tell them, keep your flight tickets, we just join the expedition. Okay, because expedition is in our hands, not the other
Yes.
things. Okay,
Yes.
for me personally, it's just a satisfaction. Okay,
Exactly. Yeah.
that satisfaction, I love it, that pure satisfaction. It feels like kind of happiness.
And I believe that the mountain boys and even women from Himachal, from Ladakh, from Uttarakhand, they are the real mountaineers. They
Yeah,
are born in mountains. Their whole childhood, their whole growing up years have gone in the mountains. So their body is literally made to climb mountains. And I firmly believe that if the some of the strongest people like Rigzin or Rajat from Manali, or even Ali from Ladakh, these are people who I
Right.
climb with. If they are given the opportunity, the means, they can break bloody every existing record in the field of
Yeah.
mountaineering. I know it
I'll
for a
tell.
fact.
Sure, I'll tell you about Rexon. And he even don't understand what is oxygen. Seriously.
Yes, exactly. They don't need oxygen.
They
They
don't
don't.
need oxygen.
They don't need it.
They don't understand this concept of why people climb with oxygen. They don't know the difference. What is that? He don't know at all. He just go and
Wow.
climb the mountain. That's it.
Wow. That's I mean, that's so much potential here going to a waste because of no means. So I think, this year even we are trying to get Rajat to Everest and Lhotse. He wants to do a speed record. And I
Nice.
know if there is anybody who can do a speed record, it is Rajat, because I'll just give you an example, of what these people are like. He went to an expedition for Trishul Peak, 7,120 meters. Yeah, I think,
Okay.
if I mistake not with the numbers.
Hmm.
Anyways, it's a 7,000-meter mountain,
Seven.
very, very difficult mountain. From Camp 3 to the summit, it takes around 8 to 9 hours. It's from 6,400 to 7,100. This idiot, when he went there, it is a documented record. From last camp to the summit, 1 hour 12 minutes. And it is not like on sea level, it
Right,
is
right,
from
right.
6,400 to 7,100. It would be acceptable for a logical mind if 8 hours time you manage in 4 hours or even 3 hours. But 1 hour, 12 minutes. What kind of a speed, strength, oxygen using capacity that his body must have?
Correct.
And he wants to attempt a speed record on Everest and Lhotse. And I think if anybody can do it, it is him. So we are trying a lot of
Pick it up.
things. Bharat, even if you have some means or some way to support him in whatever way, we'll speak about this. But
Sure,
I
we'll speak separately on this. Yeah.
but I want to put this guy on Everest and Lhotse.
Actually, see, if you see, I mean, I observed this, when I was, researching something about the sponsorships. Okay, I'll tell you. See, wherever, even today morning, I saw some guy, some great climber is climbing in Antarctica. He was completely sponsored by La Sportiva. Okay, I
Mhm.
mean, long back, I studied this, why this is not happening in India? Because if you take people from Himachal, Ladakh, nothing. I'll tell you, if some La Sportiva comes and sponsors Rexen, he'll do 14,800 without oxygen. And
Yeah,
they there are people, not only Rexen, there are many people like this. But
absolutely.
where the problem is coming, La Sportiva, North Face or Millet or Rab, these people are directly not unable to enter into Indian market because of heavy customs duty. Okay, they are entering into I mean with different other means. Next 10 years, if you take whether last put to a millet, they knows it or not. Indian market will be the huge.
Is the
Okay,
market.
it's a market. Yeah. So because this Apple, whatever, Samsung or Apple, they found it long back, so they were concentrating on it. I mean, Apple, they
Yes,
concentrate long back. The
yes.
same thing. These people has to realize this last Sportiva and although or I mean North Face or whatever it is. The next big market is India only, big and only market. I'm telling. It's a huge market.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, if they understand this, they have to come sponsor these kind of people. Nothing what these people do without oxygen, whatever they want, whatever they want, kind of record. These people will make it.
See, yeah, we are the mountaineers of this time today. We are the mountaineers in this country in this time. So, what can we do for these brands to ease their process? I mean, is there something we can do as mountaineers, as as people who are into this field?
Yeah, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you one reason here. I mean, one challenge what we face is yeah, we can form this kind of team at least to make them to get sponsorships for these kind of people. Yeah, we can do that. But
Hmm.
at the end of the day, the reason why these people will sponsor, they'll sponsor for the sales. Okay, they need that kind of sales in the
Yes.
market. See, for example, these people are sponsoring some Italian guy because that Italian guy is known to old. Okay, so that kind of so whatever they sponsor, some result has to come. But again, the Indian market, I was telling because these, I mean, these people, for example, I'll tell you, instead of buying a North Face jacket in India, you can take a flight from Mumbai, land in Kathmandu, you can visit Kathmandu, you can buy your North Face jacket and come back to India. It's the same with the same price, buying in India. You can do all these things.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
So even these people are facing problem to enter into the Indian market because of customs.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So,
because
so
Indian customs for clothing, they are, I mean, not first, for example, if a jacket is 30,000, Indian market, they have to sell it for 55,000.
in that difference of money, I can fly to Kathmandu,
Yeah,
buy, have a different experience, and come back.
and come back. Yeah, that's
Very
what
true.
happening.
So साला इसको कुछ कर नहीं सकते क्या यार? Some political jack, some because
Yeah,
I'll tell you one thing. If they sponsor us, if I talk about me for example, in the last 3-4 years, I have sold through recommendation countless amount of millet boots. I recommend
correct.
only millet for matlab, I have my own reasons. Countless number of boots I have sold. I mean, I don't have a receipt or anything to show, but if they sponsor me, more than what they will give me, that money I have given to them already right now,
We have
because
to.
these are the brands who have the power to sponsor.
Power. Correct, correct.
That's all. Baki, the people who are into other industries like oil or electricity, they only sponsor if there is a personal contact, if there is a personal connect, because they have nothing to gain if they sponsor a mountaineer.
I'll tell you one more example in this. Like,
Yeah,
you see
yeah,
this
yeah,
example. Just keep in
yeah.
mind in this example.
Okay,
I think 2 years back, there is a big company, mountaineering company. Okay, they sponsored a team. I think some French team. Okay, they
okay,
came to Ladakh to climb a
okay.
mountain. Our team, like whom we are speaking about, our Ladakh climbers, they were with their team, with the team. Okay, that team was sponsored by I mean some mountaineering company. They went to the mountain, they couldn't climb, and they came back and they went to their hometown. And these people were telling "Arey, we can climb that mountain if we were sponsored like that."
I know about that expedition. Yeah, I yeah. Yes.
A lot of things every year are happening this way. Our mountainous in Ladakh, once these people come out, no, India, I mean, every country will see India, in the field of mountaineering.
Yes, because these are you and me, we are people who are, 60% capable of climbing mountains. We
Correct.
have the passion, but we don't have the physiology as they do.
Right,
They have
right,
the
right.
passion, they have the physiology better than most people in the world, but they don't have the means. Like with the effort that you are taking up, with the effort that I am taking up from this year, I think somewhere it is starting, but it is still not enough. I think it needs to be a permanent solution.
That,
And we'll speak about this and we'll get some other mountaineers involved and we'll just,
yeah,
because it's my goal, more than me, I want to see them up now. Because these are the
right.
people who will take mountaineering in India to next level.
Next level. That's true.
My personal goals, my personal aspirations are only limited to me. I climb mountains, I will do this, I will do that. But what about the sport? These are the people who will take Indian mountaineering reputation internationally. And related to this, the flip side of this, I've written this down, and I've the last one or two questions I have for you. In the last 5-6 years, we've seen some elements in India who fake their summit, who ruin the reputation of Indian mountaineers.
Indian mountain.
I'll tell you, this is a personal experience. When I went to Manaslu this autumn, I met a Russian team. Like, no, they were not in our group. Just was roaming around the base camp, and I went into their. So they asked me, "Where are you from?" So when they got to know I'm from India, they were like, "Bah, you Indians, you are not prepared ever. You always die in the mountains, and nowadays you also fake summit. We don't ever want to climb with you." Like these are the exact words. I'm not exaggerating. Now, why I'm saying this is for young people who are listening here. This is the reputation we have right now. No person from outside the country wants to climb with Indians. So, Bharat, why do you think that is? And what is the solution for this on a grassroots, on a basic level, on a fundamental level?
No, actually, I'll tell you one thing. See, for example, if you see, any 8,000ers, okay. I mean, generally, we speak about 8,000ers people. I mean, most of the fake summits, what people think it comes from 8,000ers only. Okay.
Yes,
If you
yes, yes.
come down, if you come down more grassroots level, no, it was not 8,000ers. Most of the fake summits are happening, in normal, wherever people go to Russia to climb, people go to, Argentina to, I mean, Andes to climb.
Oh,
People go to
really?
even this small trek Kilimanjaro to climb. Most of the fake expeditions are happening here
Oh,
because Everyone knows that, like, these, I mean, people won't, because someone is, like, faking Kilimanjaro, who bothers, like,
Nobody
arey,
gives a
what,
shit.
like, no one questions, like, so most of the fake things are happening here. I'll tell you, like, more than a solution, like, first we talk, like, why these things are happening.
Yes,
Okay.
that's the solution. Yeah.
Yeah. See, for example, like, I mean, a person is from Hyderabad is going to, like, climb some mountain. Like, for example, you take some Aconcagua. He's going to climb Aconcagua. Okay. So the person who is sponsoring him, he is not from a mountaineer background. Okay. He's from, completely different kind of background. Okay. That guy sponsored him for his Aconcagua expedition. Okay. So to get some, like, flag, or, like, whatever, some news, like, news in the news articles and all these things. Okay. So the guy who is climbing, like, he knows that, like, he don't know anything. Wherever he keeps a flag, or, like, wherever, whatever he tells, he will listen. Okay. And at the same time, this guy will be sponsoring him for the next expedition also. That's how, like, it is starting. Like, people
Yes.
just bluntly, like, blindly, not did even this guy knowing, I mean, going there, don't know about that expedition. He was not bothered about I mean, summit and all. He just want, some photo, some good photo picture and all, going there and coming back. Okay. This is what happening. Now, the reason why, that's what I'm telling. So we were discussing, we don't have this, brands in India, like, big brands. I mean, wherever you see, like, sponsoring all big athletes in mountaineering, all by, like, Last Sportive or Red Bull, or, like, something related to, like, adventure wing. But in India, it's not happening. People who are sponsoring them, they're not from, mountaineering background. They don't know anything. I mean, the same advantage. I mean, these people are using the same advantage, doing these kind of things. To end this, like, it's like, it has to come from inside, from,
That's the
I mean,
thing.
it's not like, if you think or I think it will end. No, it will, like, every day I'm seeing, keep on increasing. If you observe, like, live about 8,000 years, observe small expeditions, like, you just keep silent. I'm telling you, this is these kind of things. Why?
In my eyes, in my experience, in my understanding, fundamentally why this happens is the people who fake their summit are not going because they love mountains. They are going there because what will come as a
Yes,
consequence
as a
if you
consequence,
climb
that's true.
Everest, for
Yeah.
example. So the people who fake this award for this and that award and this and that reward, there was a time when I raised a voice, the whole mountaineering community raised the voice, and we defamed that particular person in example. Why I'm saying this is the young people here. If you are ever in a situation where you think of taking a summit, we are watching. We will raise the voice and we will make sure you never climb a mountain again. This is an open warning because we don't want this field of mountaineering to be corrupted because all the other fields in the world is corrupted. But this is such a pure thing, we will not let elements like you, if you are ever planning to do that, ruin this the spirit of this sport. Okay, so
Right.
to end this on a light note, I have a quick rapid fire.
Yeah.
No, it. So, what is your favorite food, Anna?
Biryani.
Biryani. Okay. What is your favorite music genre?
I mostly listen, not mostly, like, like, I listen to Telugu songs mainly. Okay. Telugu
Okay.
silent songs, kind of. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. And who is your favorite artist for that matter?
Ilayaraja.
Ilayaraja. अरे वाह क्या बात है क्या बात है. And your favorite actor?
Prabhas.
Prabhas. Okay. Okay. And if you have one favorite movie, which is that out of all Bollywood, Hollywood, South Indian?
Currently, like, I saw Kantara. Yeah, I loved it. Like, it was
Yes.
still in my mind. They make, I mean,
Oh,
how they got their, like, mm, their own, you know, place theme and all. Like, it's different.
what a movie!
So
What a
movies, like,
movie!
it's keep on changing. Yeah.
Yeah, movie keeps on changing. I understand.
Changing, yeah.
And I always ask this hypothetical question to everybody: if scientific logic or finance or anything was not a barrier, what is that one goal, one crazy goal you would have? For example, to give you a context, my goal is to climb the highest mountain on Mars, 12,000 meters. So it's such crazy things. If logic was not a barrier, for example, I want to be invisible sometimes, you know. So such superpower or something like that. What is that one goal?
So I want to fly.
I want to fly.
Yep.
Hmm. That's a very crazy superpower to have. No flight tickets, we can go anywhere
I think.
for
Yeah.
free. Beach or mountains?
Mountains. I'll tell you, like, beach, I can't spend more than 2 hours. Like, mountains, we spend days to 40,
Yeah,
50 days.
man, same here, man, same here. I I recently went to Maldives. That was my first beach vacation. So
Okay.
since childhood, I've been going to mountains whenever I have time and money.
Right.
So I always used to think that, that maybe I will like beach life, ocean life, and that is beautiful also. I mean, I saw people lying down on the sand for 8-10 hours non-stop. They're just lying down like cows. I sat there for 10 minutes. I'm like, okay, not more. But
Not
scuba
okay.
diving and something is something I really like. The world below the ocean is something else. But I realized that no matter how many oceans holiday I do, I would like to explore the life below ocean genuinely. But I will always go back to the mountains. One place in the world which you haven't been on and you would like to visit.
Maybe Norway. Yeah.
Norway. Why?
No, I love this. Like, I mean, we were planning to, do this kind of polar expeditions and all. We just want
Okay.
to research
Okay.
more. Yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
love that kind of
Hmm.
ambience, like, the place.
Who is the person in mountaineering,
Hmm.
dead or living, who has really inspired you?
I can tell, like, there's a person called Malli Mastan Babu from our, I mean,
Yes,
from
of
our state.
course,
Okay.
of course.
Yeah, yeah. The reason I'll tell you, like, I'm not
Mhm.
saying, like, he has done this, he has done that. Like, there are many other mountains around the world. The one thing, like, I liked, most in him is, like, no one knows him. I mean, most of the people don't know him. Like, that's part, like,
Mm.
that, I mean, I generally love those kind of things, like, just
Mm.
simply doing what, in his own. It's not like, because it's all like, my kind of behavior. I think, like, it's all like
Absolutely. I'll,
something.
for people who are listening here, Bharat reached out to me, I think 2020, once to ask something about
Yes,
Annapurna.
yes, Annapurna.
You
Yeah.
had climbed Everest and we got on a call, you asked me a few questions here and there. Then a few months later, I got to know that you have climbed so many mountains and you are the founder of Boots and Crampons. And why I'm saying this is Chupa Rustam kehte hai na, someone who does not like to say so much about what they've done, but just like to do it. I really like that about you. You are the silent one, and I can understand why you would like Mali Mastan Babu. Absolutely. So, which is your, as a leader to lead, which is your favorite mountain?
Mostly, like, Ahmedabad. I have not climbed, but, I'm allowed to. Like, this season I'm going. I'm taking a team in October.
Spring?
Yeah.
October, even I'm
Oh,
there. Even I have
okay,
a
okay.
team I'm leading. There's a
Nice.
group. They want me to lead the expedition, so I'm going
Okay,
there.
okay.
Even I haven't climbed it, so I'll see you there
Right.
mostly.
Sure,
But
sure, sure.
I'm sure before that in Kathmandu we will meet this spring. If there is one person who is dead, if you have the superpower, you can raise him to life to ask him one question. Just think, from Gautam Buddha to any mountaineer, to any relative, or if there is one person who you would raise from the dead to ask him one question.
I know I love this guy Che Guevara a bit because I have been reading a lot about him and all. Like, I personally
Mhm.
love this kind of radical mentality, like, questioning
Who is he? I didn't catch the name.
Che Guevara.
Okay, okay. So
Che
what would
Guevara.
you
And
ask him?
I'll ask him, like, why you're not born in India. That's
Okay. And to end this, if there is something which you would like to say to our young listeners, who most of 80% of the listeners here are very passionate about climbing mountains and they are
yeah,
looking
yeah.
for direction and clarity.
For the youngsters, like, I'll be getting calls, like, many people, like, I want to do this, I want to do that, like, all this thing. I just want to tell them, like, nothing comes immediately. Okay, it
Mm,
takes some time, like, have that patience. Simple.
mm,
Because
mm.
mountains, like, it requires a lot of patience. For example, this year you are thinking, like, next year I have to go to for this expedition, and you are trying for the, like, whatever the possible ways to go there, like, either it can be funds or lease or whatever it is. If it is not happening, like, don't give up, like, take some more
Mm.
time.
Yeah,
It will
no
happen.
problem.
Once
No
it
problem.
gets streamlined, everything will come to, like, position. Just stay.
Mm.
I mean, your time will come. Just wait for it. Patience.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Gen Z, patience. Reels देखना छोड़ दो. So, Bharatanna, thank you so much for giving your time. I'm sure we can go on talking for hours and hours. This is
Yeah.
what happens when two mountain people meet.
Correct.
And when the next time we meet, I would like to do this face to face, because face to face, And now the idea behind doing this online was to give a basic story about you to people. So next time we speak, we can go into deeper things with some things which I have in mind, and but that has to happen face to face. So we will do
Sure,
it,
Kathmandu.
God willing, sometime very soon. And thank you for your time. And what's
Thank
next?
you, Parth.
What's next? What's next? I forgot to ask you what's next.
Okay, so 1 8,000 is confirmed, either Dhaulagiri or Makalu that we are doing. Like, again, our friends I mean, all known people only.
Awesome.
Okay,
Spring?
okay,
Spring?
yeah, spring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Two, I can't say like 100%, but we are just thinking about the two. But one to 100%, but we
Awesome.
didn't decide. Like, we might be deciding this in March first week. Before March 5th, we'll decide either it is Dhaulagiri or Makalu.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you for your time. It was a super information packed podcast for people who are interested in this. Thank you so much, and all the very best for your upcoming expeditions. And I will see you soon, brother. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Parth.